Hello everyone, my name is Stu Fagan. I'm a drummer and a teacher from Warrington in the UK, but I'm not here to talk to you today about myself. I'm here to talk to you about Roland's fantastic TD-07 series, of which you will see 4 behind me. I'm going to talk to you about each of the kits individually, and I'm going to talk about the series as a whole and how they can benefit you as a drummer, you as a teacher, or you as a learner. Now, all of these kits come fitted with Roland's dual-ply mesh heads, but across the series, there are some varying features, which means that you'll find a TD-07 kit that is right for you. All of the kits in the TD-07 range use the same module, and that module is right here. You can see it's really compact, but don't be fooled. It packs a punch, and there are some incredible features which once again mean that regardless of your level, you will find something inside this little box that will satisfy you immensely when you sit behind these kits to play them. And my favorite feature by far with the TD-07 module is the Bluetooth audio connectivity. This allows anyone to connect a device and stream the music to it, or even a video lesson without the requirement for extra equipment and leads. There's also a USB input on the module, which allows us to really easily record. As a teacher, this is absolutely fantastic for me because it allows my students to record what they're practicing at home, bring it to the lesson, and have me analyze it. And even from the self-learner's point of view, you're always in a different mindset when you're practicing and when you're listening. So to be able to record your own practice and then listen to yourself back when you're not concentrating on playing at the same time is a really good way for you to work on improving your skills. Now, there are already 25 preset kit sounds in the TD-07 module, but as well as that, there are 25 user slots where you can create the kit sound that you hear in your head using the existing sounds from all of the other kits. You can also edit things like EQ, room ambience, and dampening. Now that I've spoken to you about the series as a whole, it's time to take a deeper look at the individual kits. The first drum kit that I'm going to talk to you about today is Roland's TD-07DMK. It's right next to me here. It's set up for someone of my size, but one of the things that I find the most appealing about this is that it can become so much more compact with a few minor adjustments. As my job as a teacher, I'm finding that from lesson to lesson, I can change the kit and make it suitable for 2 completely different heights. It really doesn't take that much effort at all. And as well as that, the fantastic kick pad being attached to the frame makes it even more versatile, more mobile, and more compact. As well as the frame being really compact, you'll notice that the pads are also smaller, which really suit that compact size. They in no way sacrifice any quality though, and as you'd expect with Roland, the build quality is absolutely fantastic. One of the things that I really like about the pads in any sizing configuration is the fact that you can adjust them slightly to create different surface tensions. This is something as a player I find ridiculously useful, and also as a teacher because it allows me with one kit to explain multiple different surfaces to my students that we can play on as well. Of course, not all heads feel the same. And with this being a V kit, it's a great way for me to actually draw an association between it to the acoustic kits that the students will eventually play on at some point as well. If I was a 7 or 8 year old learner and I was thinking about buying my first drum kit to practice on at home, that is the drum kit that I would be asking my mum and dad for. One of the things that I think mums and dads in particular are like about this kit is the fact that if it gets a little bit too noisy when they're practicing in the kitchen, they can just pick it up and carry it upstairs, take it to the bedroom, or even on a sunny day, take it outside and stick your headphones in. It's just perfect for the emerging learner. There's not really much anything else to say. Next up, we've got the TD-07KV. This is actually the same kit that I use in my own studio. I use this as a player and I use it to teach on. It's absolutely incredible. And I think that the most noticeable upgrade from the kit previous is the addition of the Real Feel kick pad. Now, this is actually the same kick pad that's used on a lot of Roland's higher end V drums. And so it gives the learner a fantastic opportunity to develop the necessary technique that's going to then help them to translate over to an acoustic kit if they need to a little bit further down the line. As well as the upgraded kick pad, you'll also notice that the two cymbal pads are larger. I think this is particularly fantastic for the emerging learner because if they've been learning on a DMK, as they grow, they'll be able to look forward to an upgrade, the size of which kind of like relatively matches how they're growing. I think that because they're dual triggered, it's really, really good that we've got more of a surface area. It makes it a lot easier to aim as we develop and as we grow older. So far, I've been talking to you about the amazing quality of the kit and how a learner can look forward to this second stage of the series as an upgrade. But what I've not mentioned to you yet is how someone who's already used to playing on an acoustic kit can also benefit from this. Before I was lucky enough to have a soundproof studio that enabled me to play my acoustic drums, I needed an electric kit to practice on. And this is where the 07KV actually came in for me. In the interim where I was building the studio, I still needed something to play that made me feel like I was getting the same result as when I practiced on my acoustic kit. And once again, this is another reason that it's worth noting that the fact that the pads are smaller doesn't actually affect the way that I play. And once again, I really must stress just how compact this kit really is. So I can say from an acoustic player's point of view, if you were looking to get a kit to practice on and you wanted something that didn't take up too much space, but still had that same kind of feel that you're used to with bigger cymbals, here you go. You've got it right here. TD-07KX, I mean, straight away, all you've got to do is take a little look at it to see that everything is bigger. We've got a bigger snare pad, we've got an extra crash cymbal, and we've got bigger tom pads as well. Now, this is the kit that if you are a performer, you would probably have this kit to practice on. All of the kits are absolutely excellent to practice on just by their very nature, but this is the level when we start to get serious. You can do some pretty cool home recording stuff with this kit as well. It really does feel fantastic. The snare plays a lot of that for me. I think that the snare is a lot more responsive due to the nature of the rim being ever so slightly different. It also adds to a really nice accurate cross stick response as well, which is something that, you know, you'll only really feel authenticity with compared to an acoustic because of the size of the pad itself. It's really, really worth noting that on the KX, we've got an upgraded hi-hat pedal as well. Now, the reason that this hi-hat pedal is particularly fantastic and why I like it so much is because it introduces a degree of sensitivity, which is definitely much more on the level of a performer after they will have spent their years developing their dynamics to a point where the extra response and accuracy that this pedal delivers is really beneficial to their playing. From personal experience, and I'm sure that many a seasoned drummer will agree with me, the addition of this second crash is an absolute game changer. It puts you in the driving seat of a performer. If you are a performer, then absolutely, this is the thing that's going to make you feel like you are sat at that kit that you're used to. But even if you're a learner, this is something that can really help to drive you forward, to want to improve to a level where you are actually performing. And if you were, of course, you're probably going to have more than one cymbal. So I think the fact that the frame allows for so much more expansion makes these bigger pads feel right at home. Let's not forget that this frame is the exact same frame that you've just seen me talk about in respect of the TD-07DMK. The pads on that are so much smaller, but as you can see, with these bigger pads, we've been able to spread the frame out, and it is to no detriment to the setup. It's absolutely fantastically versatile, and like I say, I would use one of these at a gig in a heartbeat. In fact, I often do use these at gigs. The last kit that I'm going to talk to you about today is the TD-07KVX. And I think if you take a little look at it, straight away, you're going to notice once again that we've got further upgrades. And I think at this point, you're going to start to see just how versatile this TD-07 range really is. Yeah, we've got the cymbals that are fully round now. There's an entire plane surface. And one of the things that really stands out to me is the triple zone trigger on the ride. The addition of the bell sound makes it absolutely perfect for the performer, and it's going to be something, like I think I've said previously, where a player can move from an acoustic setup almost seamlessly into this V-drum setup because of features like this. So as well as the addition of the bell feature on the ride cymbal, you'll notice that we've also now got a free-floating hi-hat too. This, of course, is going to require you to own a hi-hat stand, but the chances are you probably have one anyway. Personally, for me, this is the one. I absolutely love being able to play on a piece of equipment that feels exactly the same as my acoustic setup. And for that reason, I think once again, it's worth noting that somebody who plays an acoustic kit will seamlessly transition to a V setup, just like the 07KVX. So it's the features that I've just told you about that make this kit an exceptional choice as a teaching resource as well. It allows me to show students the techniques that they're going to be able to develop that will translate onto any acoustic kit in the future. So once again, it makes this kit the perfect choice for hobbyists and performers who want the feel of an acoustic kit, but the functionality of a V kit. So So now that I've shown you what the individual kits in Roland's TD-07 range has to offer, I'm sure you'll agree that you'll be able to find something that works for you no matter the level of drummer you are. All of the kits in the TD-07 range use the same frame. This makes it really easy to upgrade individual components without having to buy a brand new kit. It works absolutely fantastically for people that are working on one technique in particular. Maybe the floating hi-hat or the triple trigger ride cymbal would be a suitable upgrade for you. But whichever way you decide to deal with it, with the Roland's TD-07 range, you are going to find a kit that grows with you. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Gear for Music's channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all soon.